over the cars, make the courses, do all of those things. And there is, much like drag racing, a set of pros that have watched you and will certify you to drive.
So somebody like Dan Patrick, who you're looking at right there, is a cart-carrying monster truck driver, and he is officially licensed somewhere in an archive.
Oh, you would love it, wouldn't you, Ralph? You would like to say, yeah, I've got my MTRA monster truck driver's license in my pocket.
Well, yeah, you know, the next time you get pulled over for going just a little bit more than you should, or, you know, not exactly coming to a complete stop, you can always, you know, hand them your license and your monster truck license. It might, you know, buy a little break here or there.
Don't think so, Ralph, but it's a good idea.
It's worth a shot. Well, there's Bigfoot. Which one do we have tonight? There have been, what, 14 of these built so far?
And this is number 14, Dan Runte. 572 aluminum Ford sets in the back of it. These trucks were designed on Bob Chandler's computer, and I saw the first one come out years ago, and I just thought the man was unbelievable. He had a computer that he laid all this out, and it ran through there and would see if it would work, and when it did work, said, I'm going to build one just like that. And you know what? It really does work well.
It really, it does. If you just think about it in your mind, you kind of think, well, it doesn't really make sense. How is this thing going to actually fly? And then that is literally what they do. They fly through the air. That, of course, is Bigfoot. Behind it, you see Bulldozer. And here is Samson. And Samson was the first of the 3D trucks, as they call it, my favorites.
Dan Patrick is a true racer. He started out tractor pulling. He had a Tom McEwen funny car that he pulled with for several years, saw the monster trucks, got into the monster truck circuit, and he builds absolutely probably the best chassis in the country for these cars.
And a 3D truck is one like Samson with the big bulging bicep arms and so forth. It's almost a little more, I hate to use the term, but cartoonish.
Dramatic.
Thank you. Much better term. That's why they pay you so much to sit here.
Well, that's the only reason.
To save me, yes.
But it's going to be great racing. You know, this course is, in the past, we've had turns that they could run the trucks in deep, kick the back steering out, and just swing the back end of the truck around and then be lined up with the other cars. That's not going to happen here tonight, because you see right in front of each one of them is a singular car. So you cannot get on that hard, because it will put you in the air. When you land, then you got to bring the back of the truck around to line it up, and you'll overshoot the big set of cars. That's going to be the touchy part of it.
And drivers like Dan Patrick and his Samson machine, they're really pretty busy inside the cockpit. They're steering both ends of the truck at the same time.
Right hand on the steering wheel, left hand on the toggle switch, getting it to swing one way or the other.
Now you saw the crew member up inside the truck, helping to fire up that alcohol motor.
Probably pulling down on the shoulder harness, making sure Dan was set. That's Gene Patrick, and Gene he's a fanatic on perfectionism. He is great at what he does.
There's a look at a cockpit inside a monster truck. That is Samson.
With the bulging biceps, Ralph.
See the big fists out front.
It's that time of the night. This is going to be good. Lap and a half around, Ralph.
Samson at the bottom of your screen. Bigfoot parked up at the top right. This is round number 1. Battling for King of the Hill.
Every round makes so much difference, because the point spread is so small. You can win this, not run well in the drag racing, and when that happens, well, you could either be in a tie or be completely out of King of the Hill altogether. And we're headed towards Indianapolis.
In your upper right corner, you see the onboard camera shot from inside Samson. That is what Dan Patrick sees. He's got 1,400 horsepower, and he's steering straight at a wall.
10,000-pound truck. See what happened to him? He's in trouble. Big trouble when he got on it too hard down the starting line.
Oh, he's up on 2 wheels. He's not careful. Patrick's going to get lapped. Boy, he's really struggling, Mike.
Well, and he did just exactly what I thought he wouldn't do. And when the flag dropped, he just nailed it. It launched him over that single car, sending him towards the wall much too far to make the swing. Dan Runte in the other lane just eased it around.
Watch it again.
Watch what happens when he comes over here in this area to land. Now he's completely out of shape to run this set of cars. Gets it up on 2 wheels right there. Now he's going over with the wheels caught, and he's off on this side right here. Bicycles it, barely gets it around to line it up. By that time, it's too late as Bigfoot crosses the finish line right there.
Here's Here's a look from the onboard camera. Look at him fighting. You can see him reaching inside the cockpit trying to get control of this thing.
There's where he kicks it up on 2 wheels. You see how the cab is tilted so much. Now it drops down, and he's got control of the truck at this time, but it's a little late in the race to even think about winning this one. Just a little too edgy on the throttle.
Could be first race of the night, Jim.
That's a great name for a monster truck driver.
That is. Sky Hartley.
Better than Bill Mudd, I guess. Ooh, that's Samson on the other end, barking.
And Patrick.
Snakebite rolls into state.
Love the flashing red eyes.
Here you go again. You're there. I mean, you love both of these.
I do.
They're three-dimensional trucks. They're right up your alley, but one basic Chevrolet design body, one Ford design body.
I don't think Dan Patrick's going to make the same mistake twice.
I hope not. I think clutch probably got him the first time around. I think the clutch hooked up quicker than they wanted it to. Kind of like a centrifugal clutch on a go-kart. Well, real simple. It's a lot harder than that, but that's the way it works.
Dan Patrick's going to slide into position. Well, he got left at the line, didn't he?
Yeah, Snakebite with a much better start. Much better start on this go-around for Snakebite. Rocked the pole, but he's still okay.
Well, Dan Patrick is only going to take 40 points. Or 30 points, I should say.
Into that drag racing.
Into the drag racing. That is not what he was hoping for.
That's not Patrick's style.
Not at all. It's amazing. All the big dogs we've seen here tonight. Joe Brozovic has struggled. Dan Patrick has struggled. A lot of the guys we've seen big performances out of earlier in the year are fighting it tonight.
This guy did such a wonderful job driving this Snakebite truck. Getting off these corners with the tires turned already to get you over the setup. 4 cars that you're running up to next, that's the difference. Patrick shut the hood and went on.
On board with Dan Patrick.
He doesn't seem to be having all that much problems with the truck. He's just not getting around the course the way he wanted to. He told me earlier today that he had 2 different size tires on it.
Fans here in the crowd enjoying themselves at the USA Motorsports Monster Truck Challenge. USA Motorsports makes their home right here in Kansas City, so it's a big night for them. You know, hauling one of these trucks up and down the highway can be a difficult thing to do. Dan Patrick does it in a fairly luxurious way. Mike Galloway took a look at Patrick's totally.
Hauling a monster truck up and down the road can be a real problem, and each and every driver and truck has their own ideas of how they do it. Well, this is a high-tech performance trailer. It's the home of Samson. Now, Samson, the truck, sits in this area right here. The big tires, they set at the back and are raised up so the truck can go in. You've got all the niceties of home in this trailer. Of course, where would Samson live? Have to live in the Taj Mahal. And that's what this is all about. High-tech Taj Mahal. Stainless steel cabinet tops. You've got a parts washer on this side. Plenty of storage for Samson parts on this side. It's top of the line any way you look at it. You know, all of this can be a little exhausting to me, so follow me. We're going to take a look. I need a break. Now, we've seen the place that Samson lives, but this is where Dan Patrick and his crew live while they're on the road. And it's got all the comforts of home. We've got remote control satellite TV, running water, microwave, refrigerator with water. Got everything you'd ever want. Did I mention a king-size bed? You know, now this is really nice. I just wish my home in Oklahoma was this nice.